The following program is rated MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
The show that gives you everything and nothing at all. That's everywhere you don't want to be. It's Ruben, Mo B, and on the ones and twos, AG.
The 5-minute warning.
Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of 5-Minute Warning. Of course, as always, it's your man, Ruben, in the house tonight. And you know, we about to do it how we do it when we do it. And of course, always is with me is my cousin AG.
What's happening, y'all? How you doing?
Oh man, things are great. Yeah, it's great. But I think this show is pretty important. So I want to go ahead and jump into it and just let's talk a little bit. Because today we're going to talk about something pretty serious. We've never really talked about it on the show. It might have been mentioned once or twice or something like that, but we want to really get into it. So, first of all, if you didn't know, Black women in the United States face an urgent maternal health crisis, experiencing pregnancy-related mortality, at the 3 times the rate of white women. For whatever reason, when they go to hospitals and stuff, people, the doctors are just like, well, you say you're in pain, but I don't think you're in pain. They just really don't treat pregnant black women as well as pregnant white women or anybody else for that reason. Don't know why. I don't know if it's just some racist stuff or whatever. Now, they have made some changes to that, such as Medicaid has expanded postpartum Medicaid coverage for 60 days to a full year. So yes, a black woman gets pregnant and they have a child. Hey, guess what? We got you for 60 days. We got you for 2 months. After that, you on your own. What kind of bullshit is that? Like, it is crazy. Like, a whole bunch of other things they've done, like black women can get midwives now, because apparently back in the day that wasn't a thing. And so today, the question, we want to really jump into it hard, and we'll have AG lead today. Is poor health care for African American women during pregnancy have that subtext for systemic extension? Are they actually trying to get rid of black women so they can't have any more kids? So AG, I'm gonna let you go ahead and start with this, because this is deep, bro. This is some real deep stuff, and I appreciate you bringing it to the show's attention. So let's have a conversation about it.
Well, you're welcome, sir. I think listening to certain outlets, especially certain shows that are female dominated, you hear things that you generally don't hear as a dude, or you hear things that generally are not mainstream. So when you get in these spaces, they throw stuff at you. It's just like, what? You know what's there, but you really don't know what's there because you can't get pregnant. I think that's one of the. It's like being white and an ally. You think you know, but you really don't know, and then it gets real uncomfortable really fast. So you hear a lot of this stuff, and you're just like, I just had no idea. So the last couple of years or so, I've been hearing it and been exposed to it. And for me, like last week kind of dawned on me that it's not only the systemic racism that has the legacy. Now, legacy is really important because the way women were treated in slavery is not that far off than the way they're treated now, meaning that you generally treat something that you don't think is human like they're not human.
Mhm.
Pain toleration is higher, which it's not. Gaslighting for disease, or creating a narrative that says that you are diseased in a way in which no one else is. Those are two big factors, because the studies show that women in America, Black women in America, do have certain diseases that go along, that correlate to their race, but Black people in Africa don't have these things going on. So then you have to question all the systems that put people in a situation in which they can't get real food. There's, they have food deserts. They have medical deserts. They don't have any doctors that look like them. They don't have any doctors that, at least from the skin color, looks like them. So you have all these things working against you. But for me, I went like the Moby route, which is always go deeper. So I was like, well, wait a minute. Couldn't this be like a quiet plan to put Black people, Black babies on the path to extinction from inside the womb or soon after? Because if you get the moms in a bad way from a health standpoint, they have a good chance of having a baby that's not healthy, having a pregnancy that's not a good one. Then that leads to death in pregnancy. That leads to, having issues after the fact. If I'm white and I'm a Project 2025er, meaning that I have a sinister plot I'm trying to instantiate, wouldn't it make sense to try to kill the baby and the mom and hide it behind pregnancy? Because again, for any woman, pregnancy is kind of dangerous. It's traumatic to start with. Even if you have the best care, things can happen. But wouldn't it be cool if I could kill both, or if I could hamper both for the short term or the long term, or extinct forever? That means all the white women out there that have choices have a head start, or they keep their head start. And when they make choices, we don't necessarily lose. Like because that's a problem. Abortion was really built on white women having choices not to have a family or not to have kids. And so they were afraid that Black women and non-Black women or non-white women would be having babies at a stronger rate, which would lessen their numbers from a percentage wise, which kind of worked out that way. So again, my thing with this particular question is, can you use this to destroy Black women at the root from a reproductive standpoint? Do you think that is what's going on? Because when I look at it, I feel like that's part of it. Now, don't get me wrong, there is legacy with this, because if you think that racial problems begin and they stop at the hospital doors, like doctors aren't like racist, that's not true. So if you're racist as a doctor, and if you're racist as a female doctor, which is even more diabolical to me with respect to what we're talking about, I'm like, you have to consider that. But at the same time, I feel like passively, this is a great way to try to hinder a race of people at the root. It's almost like making us eat seedless fruit and vegetables. Once you eat that fruit or vegetable, you can't plant anymore. The seeds are gone. So that means if I can re-engineer that, or if I have another plan going, I control you. I control what you eat and how you eat and how much of it you eat. So it's kind of the same thing. Diabolical work. Now, my question to y'all was, do you think it runs that deep? Because for me, it kind of does. So it's not only the racial aspect, which is, clear and present, but the byproduct of that is we can get them at the root.
Okay. So the first thing I would say is, I don't think we could put anything past anybody. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, because history has shown we've had people in the past who have looked to obliterate races and, communities and all of that. So I wouldn't put anything past anybody. I mean, obviously one of the most famous ones, Adolf Hitler. I mean, he wanted to eliminate all Jews on the planet. That was his goal, to take over the planet so he can eliminate all Jewish people. And everybody who doesn't literally look like what he called the most perfect white man, even though he didn't look like that. Right? So, that I would say that there's always possibilities. I have personally not read Project 2025, but what I know about it, that also doesn't put it past me. So I think before we need to continue, we need to do a couple definitions. Well, first of all, welcome, Moby.
What's up, man?
So food deserts, right? Now if we're going to talk about stuff, we need to go ahead and educate people on it properly. And so a food desert basically is a location that does not have immediate access to like fresh food or affordable food or even nutritious food, such as a lot of counties in different locations, low income communities or whatever. Like if you go to a store and they don't have fresh food, technically that's part of a food desert. Like, and I'm not trying to call no stores out saying that y'all not doing the dirty or whatever. But like, if you're in the middle of Southampton County, I'll say that because I have family in Southampton County, and you see Family Dollar, they have food there, but they don't have fruit there. So, and the quote unquote nutritious food is usually frozen or anything like that. So technically that would be considered a food desert because those locations are located in areas in which, you need food there, but they don't have fresh food there. They don't have food that like fruit. Like, hey man, when it's all said and done, I can sit here and say, I don't eat a ton of fruit, but there are a lot of places where there's no fruit and kids don't get fruit and stuff like that. So that's what makes the school system and the free lunch program so important. And the summer lunch program in certain areas so important because they get a lot of fresh food, especially during the summer in places where you don't have access to that. So just a quick definition on that. But yeah, I mean, if you want to take out a group of people, you got to take out the reproductive part of it. And I don't understand how, I'm in pain, doctor. Nah, you're not really that much pain. I mean, like, you're a woman having birth, having pregnancy. The white woman's in pain or the Chinese woman's in pain, but the black woman ain't in pain. Like, what kind of bullshit is that? So yes, I would definitely say, for some people in some places, yeah, it is definitely a racial situation with that. And of course there are, as you mentioned earlier, black women do have a higher chance of getting things like gestational diabetes and other diseases and stuff like that, other sicknesses during their pregnancy. And so it's real foul that when it's all said and done, if a black woman goes to the wrong doctor, that shit can get jacked up very quickly. So, but I'm gonna also say I don't have any kids, so I've never gone through anything like that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm kind of gonna pass it to Moby because he has children. I don't know if he's gone, his wife has gone through anything like this, but like, you know, I can't sit here and I can say what I think, but I can't sit here and say I've had any experience one way or the other. So, like I said, I'm gonna pass it to Moby and see what opinions that he has on this subject.
Well, I guess I'm gonna try to stay as close to the question as possible. Short answer, AG, is yes, but I don't think it is simply a conspiratorial plan by the man to eliminate black people through reproductive things. I think every system in place is designed to eliminate black people, and that's just one part of it. So I don't think anybody has one play to basically make it that much harder for black and brown people. I think everything comes back to that. And in the context of what you're talking about, in the medical thing, yeah, it's this. And Nikki actually put a book up there, which I don't know the book, but I've heard of the book. Somebody was referring to that book before one of my classes when I was in school. But literally, I have my own theory about it, and I've said it several times up here. The most protected class in our country is typically white women. So when white women go to the hospital, it pains the doctor to see a white woman complaining about pain. They don't share that same pain about seeing black women in pain, because whether they want to say it out loud or whether they all feel like it. I don't think it's a matter of all doctors feel that way, but enough of them just don't have the natural inclination to have so much more empathy for black women. So I've been in the hospital with my wife, and I've seen other patients, other women, and I see doctors and nurses bending over backwards to make sure that that white woman is as comfortable as possible. And I've seen us have to go above, get a nurse, get the supervising nurse on the floor to come in to talk, because people have tried to dismiss things that the women in my family were talking about. And yeah, a lot of people can say it's my opinion, but like, man, as somebody who's been in the hospital a lot for various reasons, I just got eyes, and I see the treatment is different. And I'm not saying it's all of them, but like I said, it's just, I think a lot of people, I mean, we see this in all aspects. Like when a black girl goes missing, it doesn't make the news. If a white girl goes missing, oh my God, freeze the whole city. We got to find her. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't care, but I just wish it felt balanced. I wish it seemed like everybody mattered, but just based on our reaction to things, it doesn't matter. The food desert thing. You said Southampton County. Well, cool. Petersburg is a food desert. Where my grandma lives, there is, like, she has to go to the opposite side of town to a grocery store, or she has to go to a different city to find a grocery store with produce.
Yeah.
I mean, and everybody knows what color Petersburg predominantly is.
Put W Brown, put her comment on there. This is like intense. Put that on there.
Yep.
Which I don't even know how you get out of the hospital like that.
Yeah. W Brown said they sent me home after birth and I could have died. They didn't stitch me up and they closed me with tape. Wow.
Yeah.
That is absolutely what happened. We literally had to. I'm looking. I'm like, hey, we got to go back. We got to go back to the hospital. What? Even better,
Wow.
when Cadence was born, she had an operation right afterwards. My wife, and so of course we had already had a 1-year-old. So after she gives birth to Cadence, it's been like 24 hours, almost 24 hours. I go home. Her mom leaves the hospital. I go home to change clothes. I come back. I get to her room. She's not in her room. So I'm like, hey, where's my wife? Nobody can tell me where she's at. I'm going around. I go to the main desk. Hey, where's that? We don't know where she's at. 2 hours later, she comes back. She had an emergency surgery. Nobody said anything. Nobody notified me. Nobody knew where she was. So I'm just walking around the hospital roaming, talking to people. Finally, a doctor was like, yeah, let me figure out what's going on. So, oh, she had surgery. And yeah, so after like 2.5 hours of trying to figure out where my wife was, I knew where Cadence was, but I didn't know where she was.
Wow. That's wild. That's wild.
And my experience isn't a minority experience. It's like I know it's not a minority experience.
This motherfuckers don't know what the hell they doing experience.
See, Ruben, it's so much deeper than that, because like what I can honestly say is like I didn't run into people that didn't seem to care. It seemed like things are designed in a way where the people who are making the decisions are the people who have the least contact with people. Because I always tell you every time I go to the hospital, I love all the nurses. The nurses are always awesome.
Yeah.
It's the doctor that comes in for 20 seconds and then leaves, who's making all the actual calls. And that's where the disconnect is. And like I said, when that person comes in the room and they see a woman that looks like my wife, and if they see a woman that looks like, blonde hair, blue eye, stereotypical white woman, she is going to get all of their attention. My wife is going to get the quickest response so he can get to that next white woman.
Yeah. I want to put this up too. Nikki put up here, fortunately, many physicians are being taught that people of color have different pain tolerances.
Absolutely.
And we still use racial profiles, even in testing, so that we rule out to a certain diseases. Like, look, man, I understand the genetic thing, but I mean, we not look, as a black man, I promise you, I can't leap buildings in a single bound. I can't sit here and get cut and be like, I don't feel that shit. No, motherfucking shit hurt. Like, I guess that's when some people, it goes back to the whole, depending on who you talk to, it goes
pain
back to the whole
is personal.
Yeah.
Pain tolerance is personal. Like, because I can honestly say, and it's not like a tough guy facade, I really do have a high threshold for pain. Like, by the time I'm saying something hurts, that motherfucker hurts.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing. Mo B has a high pain tolerance. Ruben does not. Fuck all that. Like, well, depending on where it is, I'll say that. But yeah, man, when a paper cut, I'm gonna fucking stitch this bitch up, please. Like, so the whole pain tolerance thing is so like stupid.
But it's not if you consider, like I told you, legacy is really important. And I said this before. Nikki said what she said before Mo got. I'll say it again. When you have a legacy of experimentation being done on you, and that gets passed down, and at this point it's very passive. It's not active like it was, 400 years ago, when they're making, when they were done with experimenting with us, they made our skin out of shoes and furniture coverings and whatnot. That's not happening that we know of right now. But the legacy of that type of treatment, that dehumanization, is there. It's still there, very present, clear and very present. So that's why it's like, when you say you don't understand it, I agree that you shouldn't have to. But if you include the legacy of where we come from and how we were treated, that is the product of dehumanization. Because our pain tolerance, like you said, our pain tolerances are good or bad, just like everybody else. Like Mo can stand a lot. Maybe I can't. Maybe you can't. Maybe we can stand some things that he can't. Whatever it is.
I'm terrible with empathetic pain. Like me, I can be in pain fine and cool. But when I see like my wife or other people, like, I'm a wreck seeing other people in pain. I don't mind seeing my own blood. I see somebody else's blood. I'm like, hey man, I'm getting sick to my
Oh.
stomach. Like I don't know what it is. Like anything happening to me, I'm like, hey, it is what it is. When shit's happening to other people, I'm like, hey, keep that shit to yourself. I don't want to see that.
I hear you saying, but does that make you any less human? Is what we're talking about.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's just, that's
But to the white community, and we're talking about the medical community, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. I mean, like I said before, I don't think the numbers bear out that it's an active thing. I think it's a legacy thing that people have a lot of ties to how they can treat different people.
AG.
The expectation is you black, you can stand it. I got things to do because this white woman is dying because she's soft. I mean, let's call it what it is. Because my wife is going to get treated a lot better than Mo's wife is on average. Because if my wife had the hardest time, she had a hard pregnancy. She had a 2 or 3. I think all her pregnancies were hard in some way. If that was happening to Winter, bruh, she might not be here because they wouldn't treat it the same.
Oh, the crazy thing is, AG, my wife's pregnancies were both terrible. Like she had like what was called hyperemesis. Like she was losing weight during pregnancy. She couldn't eat for like the first 2 trimesters. Like it was one of the reasons like people often ask, like, hey, you don't want to try for a boy? I won't trying to put her through that shit again. Like, nah, man, we got out with 2 healthy kids and she was still breathing. Cool. Pause. We done.
Yeah, Winter just put up when she was pregnant, she had 2 blood clots in her arm, and with a PICC line. Hell, I've had 2 of them bitches. Well, 3
Yeah,
actually.
PICC line. I had to inject her with blood thinners. Daily.
She said she had to beg to get an ultrasound, and after a few days, a black nurse, Nikki. Interesting. I don't think it's a Nikki that's on our, that's right on our show, but she cried and begged her to help me. She ordered ultrasound and said, "Yep, you got a blood clot." And it's just like, yo, I mean,
my wife wouldn't have had to beg.
Yeah, nobody. Look, man, and that's what I don't get, man. You're in a hospital, like
I just told you, man.
I know, but
Ruben, I'm gonna tell you the most infuriating thing about that position is at me. And I'm gonna be selfish in this moment. I don't know how I'm supposed to react because my natural inclination is to like be really upset and like start raising hell. But I know somebody that looks like me, especially when she was pregnant. I was like almost 300 pounds at the time, large black guy. Like I know that would have been an even worse reaction. So then I've got to do the most unnatural thing, which is try to be calm about the situation and talk reasonably to people who are fucking proactively hindering the health of my wife. But I know they're also the only people that can help her at the moment too. So it's a feeling of helplessness that like, yo, I don't wish that helplessness on anybody.
Yeah, I mean, because the other situation is what you don't want to do is piss off the people who are trying to who are in charge of helping your wife, on a similar stance, not the same, but similar. Just like when you go out to eat, do you really want to piss off the cook?
I mean, Ruben, the pissed off part is a fair point. But how many videos have you seen of black people at hospitals getting loud and they're immediately arrested?
Yeah, that too. Yep.
Like ain't nobody considerate of the fact that like they're going through a stressful situation with loved ones.
Yeah.
You see large black guy start yelling, he going to jail.
Most definitely. Or he's getting put out the hospital, one of the two or both. And it's just it's infuriating all the way around. And back to the question, is it a racial thing? And what I said earlier, I think depending on where you are, like
I don't think it depends on where you are. I think we're kind of past that.
The reason why I say that is like for instance, I would say up here, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but if I was in Alabama, I probably would go to another state and get help. Just
Well,
saying.
I'm glad that y'all. Well, I'm glad that Ruben brought that up because, like Mo said,
that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
I mean, but at the same time, it doesn't matter because the other thing that I have noticed that women tell me through these podcasts I'm listening to is like one woman last week was talking about her particular situation and how respectability politics comes into play. Because it brings about a socioeconomic play that Black women try to do that they find out quickly doesn't work. They think, hey, I'm educated, I have a 4-year degree or a master's degree or a doctorate degree.
Money.
I have money. I have great health care, or I have enough money to give my own person great health care. I'm golden. That means that I can be treated better than my black soror over here, and I'm better than her. So they think that going in with all of these resources, that will compel, the white medical community to treat them like a human being. Now, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. We're just trying to get Black women on the level of humanity.
Yes.
We're not trying to excel here. We're trying to catch up to a level playing field. So they think that because I've achieved extraordinary wealth, an extraordinary, station in life, that they automatically going to say, hey, I saw you had a Bentley outside. Let me treat you like a human being. And it does not work 10 times out of 10. Now,
I would think it'd be worse.
Well, like Mo said, I have to, I believe all women get the shaft. And what we're talking about right now, I think all women get the shaft because a lot of doctors are men. I want to put that out there first. So that's where we're building from. So that helps you understand how poorly Black women are treated. Atrociously, Black women are treated. But as far as the socioeconomic play, that's not a play. And Black women that have resources, that are pregnant, or if they have any other ailments that they're trying to deal with, will tell you, you will get into your Bentley sick or dead. Period. Yep. Because they're not going to treat you any better than they would have if you was on welfare.
Once you put them hospital scrubs on, they don't know what name brand you had
in their minds as far as this is what Black people are. So you can't play the respectability politic card because at the end of the day, you still a coon to them. You're not a Black person. You're something less. You're not a Black woman. You're something less. So I'm glad you brought that up because that was in my notes that you cannot play the money game. This is just not going to help you.
Yeah. Nikki also wrote that that's why she understands patients' rights and can ask for another nurse or doctor.
I'm gonna tell you that patient right thing. Like everybody, people who know talk about it. The sad thing is, I have like 4 or 5 times in my life where we've had to ask for that. And I feel like that's a terrible number in itself. The fact that, especially, and this is all personal thing, especially somebody like me. If I have to ask for a patient's right, because like every nurse that ever was with me was like, you are like the easiest patient because I don't complain about shit. I don't really be making a big fuss about nothing. Like if I ask for that, that means some shit that has just gone so far left that we got to reboot and start this whole thing over. Like when I was in the hospital for an entire week because one doctor didn't get me off of blood thinners. So then they had to keep me an entire week so they could do a biopsy on me. And they were like, well, you didn't get off your blood thinners because you were putting me on them. You're the one that gave them to me. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's wild out here. W.R. Brown states that Tatiana Ali, obviously, if you don't know, she played Ashley on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, went through labor trauma with her first child. She's a big advocate now. You would have thought she would have been treated good because she's a superstar.
She was a celebrity.
Yeah. And they treated her like half shit too. So like, look, I mean, when it's all said and done, it's like we gotta we all have to do better, in making sure that our rights are taken care of. But especially like if your significant other or your friend, yeah, if she's black, you got to make sure they're even doing better. Like make sure they're doing it at the very least what they should be doing, because
the
we got to
problem
make
is
sure.
everybody doesn't have an advocate, and that's the
Yeah.
scary thing. Like, because even
Yeah.
all the bad situations I'm having, I'm like, yo, if we weren't advocating, or if there wasn't somebody there to advocate,
hmm
like, you get what you get.
Yeah. And it's wild out here. And nobody likes hospitals for reasons such as this. Because you got some people you just don't know.
If that's true. I don't.
Really?
I don't know if nobody likes hospitals. I think some people feel more comfortable in hospitals, and I guess in theory you're right. Nobody wants to necessarily have to go to
Yeah.
the hospital, but I
Well-
do think there's some people who feel a lot more comfortable in the hospital than some.
Yeah,
And there's
but
usually some common things about them. Most of them are white, because like I don't know any person of color that's like feels comfortable in the hospital.
hell yeah, I'm ready to go to the hospital. Hell no. Like that is not even a thought process. That's last minute. I ain't got shit else. And I haven't been to the hospital as much as you, Moby, recently, but I've done some time and I ain't trying to be there because that shit's for the birds. I mean, I'm not even talking about the financial part. I'm just talking about freaking being there. It is the worst shit ever. But if you gotta go, you gotta go. The biggest thing is, I think that what we can do from this conversation is make sure that one, you either advocate for yourself, or you have an advocate for you, and whether that's somebody professional or your significant other. And definitely, ladies, if you have to go to the hospital for any reason, this whole I'm doing it by myself thing, you need to make sure you have someone who has your back, to make sure you get the same health care that everybody should get, because even we sat here and for the last 30 minutes, we've talked about a couple bad things that have happened to some women. And this is just a tiny, minuscule sample size of what truly goes on in this country. And we're just talking about pregnancy. We're not talking about anything else. So, like, we got to understand that, one, hospitals are there to help us and to help heal us. But doing this shit by yourself, take it from me, that shit ain't the move. And take it from OB, that shit ain't the move. Ever. So make sure that, if you got to go to the hospital, make sure you get taken care of. Make sure that you have somebody who's there for you, whether they're there physically or at least they're on the phone. You just got to have somebody who's got your back. Because nobody wants to be in a hospital, or at least I feel like it's a conversation that none of us want to be in a hospital. We're there because we have to be, not because we want to be. But if we're going to be there, we want to make sure that we're taken care of in the same way that everybody else is taken care of. So with that, I will move on. And thank you to those who's Nikki and W.R. Brown for talking, because, hey, look, when it's all said and done, it's three dudes here talking about,
Yeah, for real.
talking about black women and pregnancy, none of which we can't do. We can't get pregnant and we can't experience that directly. So I definitely want to say thank you for your input, because, hey, all we can do is watch and see what other people go through. We can't go through this ourselves. So thank you for your input and appreciate y'all listening to the show today. And then the next thing I want to bring up very quickly, what is it about sports that makes us less evil or more united? Well, otherwise we're more evil and less united. And I think an example about that is New York City, right? Right now, the Knicks won the championship. Everybody loves everybody. Yes, yes. And after this parade, somebody's getting murdered. And, you know,
You still owe me some money. Pop out.
exactly, right? Hey, we want a chip, but bitch better have my money, you know, or whatever. So, what is it about sports that brings us together? Or what is it about sports that makes us further apart? Moby, I'll let you start this one.
I mean, sports don't do anything but make humans humans. And what I mean by that is like it doesn't make us more united. It doesn't make us more evil. It just shows us who we are. And I see that as a youth coach all the time. I see sports making people act stupid, irrational, and out of control. And I see what it does for people's lives, where it brings them together and unites people who come from different backgrounds for a common goal. Because the most human thing about us is we always do better when it's us versus them. No matter what us is, no matter what them is. If you can design something so that there's a us and there's a them, us will always unite and we will always hate them. We see it in all walks of life. If we can create an us, we can say fuck them. And like you said, the New York fans, like, because people are like, oh, New York's so united, and all I'm seeing is like the clips of like them attacking people with Spurs jerseys and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, this is the us versus them. You know what I'm saying? This is, hey, we fuck with us, even though half of the people in the crowd don't like each other, but they like, hey, he got the other team jersey on, he's a them.
Wait a minute. Hold on. That was good. He's a them.
Yeah, he's a them. Once you could classify somebody's pronoun as them, they can be your enemy, and the rest of us can unite, because you know what? I don't necessarily like you, but you ain't them. Fuck them.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, but I mean, that's our politics right now. Like, a lot of these broke white Republicans don't necessarily like the rich white Republicans making all this money, but you know what? They like, you know what? We don't like black people either. Unite. We don't fuck with them either.
Worst case scenario, right?
We don't like black people either.
I mean,
you know, them brown people get on our nerves too. We're us now.
We're
locked. Like the fact that somebody in the middle of the country who is impoverished can look at Donald Trump and say, I see myself in him. That means you have established that there's a us and there's a them.
Yeah.
And you're saying that he is part of us, which on the surface, we can't think of anything y'all motherfuckers got in common other than the fact of your skin color and the people you dislike. Nothing else in common.
Case in point, Kentucky and Missouri. I mean, yeah. AG?
I think it was game 4 when the Knicks won. And I don't know Mariska Hargitay's politics.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know anything about her other than she does a TV show and all that. But what I saw was this white woman hugging on random black people. And I saw all these people from a socioeconomic and vocation standpoint dealing with people they live in a different part of town. I'm seeing people that I know for a fact are from Bensonhurst hugging black people. Like, okay. And it took me back to 1989. I'm sitting in the movie theater watching Do the Right Thing. And one of the things that I remember to this day from this movie is the conversation Mookie was having with the eldest son.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, basically Mookie was like, bro, you don't even like black people for real. I mean, what you talking about Magic Johnson? Magic Johnson, he ain't like for real black.
He ain't black. He ain't really black.
Magic Johnson's black as they come. And I'm like, but it made me think, and I was like, what is it about sports in particular. Now, music does it too. Don't get me wrong, it does. But
not
sports,
as much as sports does.
no,
Jesus
exactly. Like I see people like all the times a World Cup was on the line, but there were two countries that were against each other on the pitch that were also fighting a war against each other, where they had a ceasefire to play the match.
Play the match. That's
And I'm like, y'all can work this out to play a 90-minute match for all the money and then go back and kill each other. I'm like, what are you
Bro.
doing? I don't understand. And it's the most, for me, it's a phenomenon, man. It's like, it just begs to be questioned. Like, you can put away all the hate you hold dear in your body for that moment.
Yeah.
I'm like, how can you be a Knicks fan where everybody on the court is black? I mean, they traded away the couple of white guys they had. And it's just like, how do you differentiate? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm proud of
they
them.
even
I
traded
was
white
really happy that they won, but at the same time, I'm sitting here going, is it interesting that these people that have paid $250,000 a seat to sit here and watch this amazing event don't even like the people that are giving them the experience? The owner of the team doesn't even like the people that is giving him the championship. And I'm like, I find that interesting.
Yeah, James Dolan's up there. I love everybody. I was just
No, he
like,
doesn't.
motherfucker, you hate everybody
That's
behind
absolutely-
you.
AG, you're right. They traded the two most popular white people they had. They traded White Dante and
Yep.
Hartenstein. Like, they was just like,
Yes.
hey, too much. We gotta get rid of
Hey,
y'all.
Can I just say this? For the longest time, I never knew what Leon Rose looked like. Thought dude was black. Man, that dude's white as hell. Like with a bald head. And I was old. I was like, that's Leon Rose? Damn. Like, okay. Maybe he balled at the Rucker or some shit on his off time. But I was completely shocked. I thought Leon Rose was a black dude. Nah, man. But that dude looked like he been through it hard and fast though. So like, yeah, sports, man. You know, sports makes you do a lot of things that you never thought you do. Yep, it does bring out our
Brings out
tribalism.
our tribalism, man.
Yeah, I
Sometimes-
agree. I mean, what Mo said is probably the
like I
biggest
said.
thing.
Yeah, it turns family against each other for a little bit. I love my uncle, man, but he's a damn Cowboys fan.
Once
You mean
again,
you mean
just
somewhere
brings out
deep
the
down in
human-
your heart you hate me, Ruben?
I mean, you know,
'Cause you guys
AG,
ripped me a new one that Thanksgiving, man, where RG3 torched us for 41.
Bro.
Y'all treated me like a stepchild that day. I was
you
like,
and Uncle Lloyd, man, both y'all
Oh,
can get it. Y'all got it that day.
awful. I was like, you guys are mean.
Yeah, it's just what it was, baby. It's just what it was. Because hey, man, you know, here's the thing. As Moby likes to talk about the fandom of people in their teams. Like, yeah, man. At least for the most part in family, is just, you know. Now, if you really feel that, so, in some
Stop it.
families, I don't know about some other people's families, but in my family, I don't hate nobody because they like a certain team. That's craziness to me. But you are right. In some families, yeah, that's just a point of contention. And it's just like, nah, like this year, you know, we're about to go to Jerry's World to watch the Commanders play. And so, you know, hopefully we get to go this year. And if, you know, invited my uncle who's a Cowboys fan. I was like, we can go watch this shit together. And whoever loses ain't gonna be saying much for the rest of the trip. You know? But that's the type of stuff, man. But it's cool. Like with me and my uncle, it's cool because, like, hey, man, the rule that we have is very simple. Whoever wins makes the phone call, and the loser can't not pick it up.
Fair enough.
That's
Fair
what it is. Because you know, I've gotten calls at the end of the third quarter when there's a blowout, and it's just like, I see you getting this out the way early. I respect that. You know, and that's just what it is. Like when people take it too far, they take it too far. But yeah, man, you know, some in sports is just, you know, it's it's great because you're on this platform and you're high as your high, and then next thing you know, you're as low as you can go. And I mean, the feeling is good and it's bad. It's always great when it's good and it sucks when it's bad. But hey, we got it. If your fandom is that big, you got to do what you got to do.
That fandom roller coaster is
It's the worst. It's the
it's
worst.
kind of
shit.
foreign to me. I mean, but you know what? It's not that it's foreign to me. Like I'm like better than, like I'm above it. It's just most of the teams I've rooted for have always lost, so I've never really had a roller coaster to go on. It was always just like I'm here, and I've accepted that I'm here. But like I've never felt the hatred for another team the way I see other fans do. Like I just never have felt it. Like there's some teams I don't like, but usually when I don't like them, it ain't even like a fandom I don't like. I usually have very specific reasons why I don't like. I've talked about UVA basketball because I didn't think that shit was really basketball. It had nothing to do with them being UVA. Like I wouldn't have cared.
They won a natty, man. They ain't real basketball.
Bruh, it's not real basketball. Dribbling it 30, like passing it for 35 seconds and slowing the game down at a crawl. Like it's
I mean,
not
what's the four
aesthetically
corners
pleasing.
from North Carolina? It's kind of the same thing. I mean,
Here's the thing.
how-
You're right. 'Cause they used to say all the time, the only person that can hold Dean Smith up, no, hold Jordan under 30 is Dean Smith. Like that's the
But what I'm not going to do, Moby, what we're not going to do is sit here and say you are not immune to it, because there
I
are
didn't-
two words that will set you off
I
all
didn't say
day.
I was immune to it.
Okay,
I
I'm just making
started by
sure.
prefacing it that I wasn't.
rule.
Tough rule. Oh my
Hold on.
God! This
First of all, but that actually
See?
proves my point too, because it's a specific thing. I don't dislike the Patriots. You've never heard me say anything negative about the Patriots.
no,
It's
no,
always
you have
just
not.
the fucking duck rule.
But
I don't have
wow, you put
nothing
you
against.
put an adjutive in front of it. and
I don't have
every-
nothing
oh, man,
against
it's great.
Tom Brady. I don't have nothing against the Patriots. It's just that one moment doesn't resonate well with me. That's it. Like I just like John Gruden, but that's not really because of any. It's not because he coached
No.
Tampa Bay against the Raiders and they won. It's because he's an asshole. Hard stop.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man. I mean, hey, look, as long as it's in jest and as long as it's not violent, it's fandom is great. It's when people take it too far, when because it gets a bad name and shit.
Well, see, that's
Hey.
the thing. In that one fleeting moment,
Like I said, human.
it's like utopia. Is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Bro. And I think what did Fat Joe say last night? He was like, the Puerto Rican parade was today. And he was like, that's going to be the parade before the parade. And I was like, I have not seen any pictures of the Puerto Rican day parade
have.
there
I
today.
have.
I bet
have.
it was lit as all fucking get out.
I mean, of course it was. Also, like, I just think it's amazing that when people are happy or when people are outraged, they have the exact same reaction. So, all right, if some injustice happens publicly and we hate it, we tear shit up. If our team wins, we tear shit up.
And what,
They
what
like buses on fire and whatnot.
bruh, Moby, what did I text you last night after the Knicks
yeah.
won?
They're gonna burn that city down. They're gonna burn that city down. But we
Surprisingly, I've
already
heard
knew
of
that.
nothing.
We knew that the whole time. I was just like, yo, if New York, like, I'm more upset at the people who did not want to be a part of this for staying. Because like they're showing pictures of like cars like that got trampled on in the streets and burned, and I'm just like, yo, when I thought the Knicks might have a chance at winning the championship,
I'm out.
I'm out. Like I know not everybody's financially able to do it, but sacrifices have to be made sometimes, man. Like I would be in Jersey just sleeping in my car. I'd be like, no,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
what's not gonna happen is I'm not gonna let this shit burn down just because these motherfuckers excited about winning the game.
Yeah.
These people who did not participate in this game at all, did not get any money for it, are celebrating as if they just had their firstborn child.
Bro.
And look, I'm happy for Knicks fans. I really am happy for Knicks fans because they're one of the worst NBA fan bases because of how arrogant they act. But they're also the cutest because it's like they usually always feel like they got a chance. So it's like really cool that they actually won.
So,
You know what? They're a lot like Cowboys fans. Knicks
Bruh.
fans and Cowboys have a lot of similarities.
I think Cowboys fans are a little worse though.
No, I will definitely say that.
oh, definitely, without question.
But I think
mean-
I think Cowboys fans will be Knicks fans in about 20 years. Like if Cowboys go about 20 more years of not winning.
Jesus.
Wow.
Think about it because look, I would not have said there was that much of a difference based on Knicks fans in the 90s. Because Knicks fans in the 90s were very similar to Cowboys fans are right now. They hadn't won in a long time, but they always acted like they were the mecca of basketball. Like everything started and ended with them.
Yeah.
But then after like another 20 more years of not winning, it was just like, hey man, like everybody always comes here to shine because, you know, nobody here is shining. So like I said, give the Cowboys 20 more years of not winning the Super Bowl, they'll be what Knicks fans are today.
I'm telling you,
Here's the thing. When
mm,
Cowboys win the Super Bowl one day, this whole motherfucking country.
he
might-
said one day.
I don't know.
Well,
if
look,
one day's coming.
statistically speaking, Ruben, I gotta believe eventually the Cowboys are gonna win a Super Bowl.
I mean, broken clocks, man. Broken
yeah,
clocks.
exactly. Eventually, they're gonna win a Super Bowl
So-
one day, and when
so,
they
well-
do, their fan base is so spread out.
Yeah.
Like
It's
they're
annoying.
all over the place.
That's
I
annoying.
know.
So I'll say this and we'll move on. The internet is undefeated, man. The internet is so undefeated. Like every time I think they can't do anything better, they do something better. So of course, y'all been seeing the clips I send you, how this wife trolls her Cowboys husband, Cowboys fan husband, like, and videotapes it, and he allows that shit because I would give her a flip phone and say, guess what, bitch, you're not doing any social media. Like, all she does is, y'all have seen them, all she does is talk shit about how the Cowboys ain't gonna win nothing. And it almost, part of me feels like this is set up, but then part of me feels like it's not. And because I feel like his reactions are very genuine, and because she be tricking him all the time to talk shit about the Cowboys, man, and his face is just like I feel like he wants to say, I fucking hate you, like every time, like literally. But it's his wife, and he ain't about to do that because she knows you're gonna put it on the internet. But the one thing I saw today, man, I was just so weak. And somebody put up there, yeah, the Knicks won the joint before the Cowboys. I was like, come on, man. That's foul.
But it's so true.
I mean, it is 53
Really?
years.
I would say, really, is it? Because it's been 53 years, and Cowboys have won within 53 years. Like,
I mean,
true.
that's true. But what I'm saying, I mean, the
Still.
sentiment is kind of the same. It's
Yeah,
almost
I
a
bet.
difference
The
without
sentiment's the same.
distinction. It's like,
It's
it's like
foul.
we ain't won nothing since '93. So I'm like, is it really that different?
but it's always your year. It's always their year.
Okay, whatever.
I'm just saying that was like, look, I was there in the 90s. Knicks were always 1 year away, man. They were
Yeah.
they were always 1 year away.
And all those dudes were there. Walt
And then
Frazier was there. The last guy who won
Jordan
one.
retired, they was like, oh,
We
Jordan's
got a
gone.
chance.
We here
Yeah.
now. And then
And then they got there and got
Lost you.
swept.
Akeem
Lost
popped
you.
up twice. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh. Yeah, it's like, hey man, Jordan ain't here, but I'm here, bitch. Like, what's up? So, like, yeah, you know, the internet's undefeated, man. It's wild, and I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna give it to AG for what's on his mind. Like, I'm a Lakers fan, but this orange and blue sky shit is stupid. and I'm done.
Why
I'm
you
done.
mad at
AG,
Orange
I
and
mean,
blue.
what's up?
Oh, orange and blue.
Why you
Okay,
mad
okay.
at this song, man?
Orange and blue skies, bitch. Ain't no way it could be. Oh, never mind. AG, what's on your mind, man?
Man, actually, what we were just talking about, I just want to give a shout out to the Knicks because when I saw them like escalate during the playoffs, I said, I think the Knicks for real, because I hadn't been really paying attention to pro basketball this year for whatever reason. So I'm watching this. I was like, they ain't even literally lost for real. I said, they might be for real. So they won the first game in the finals. I said, okay. Then they won the second game. Then they dropped the third game, which is, I feel like, is almost normal. Then they won another time, and then they won today. And I was like, man, I remember Willis Reed coming out the tunnel. I remember, Walt Frazier still with us, whatever. All the pain that they have been through in this franchise. Some of it had nothing to do with them because ownership, good gravy. I don't even know what they were thinking. But anyway, it's like, to all the New York fans, shout out to y'all. Congratulations, Mazel Tov. So that's what's on my mind, right? That's what's on my mind.
I hear that. All right. Thank you, sir. Mo B, what's on your mind?
We're gonna keep it, I guess, on this sports theme, man. Like, I just want to say I am really proud of this podcast right now because I am so irritated with all of the commentary about how Wemby ain't shit because he lost. Like, I've seen so many posts about like how Jalen Brunson smoked Wemby, and I'm just like, yo, let's be honest, my guy. Like, Jalen Brunson had a great game. He did. Wemby's 22. Everybody on the Spurs team is like 22. And
youngest team in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yes, the Knicks.
I think Fox is the oldest guy there, isn't it?
And he's the dude that probably cost them the game. And
Yeah,
I'm not.
I need to watch it because I keep hearing that.
Oh no,
He choked a couple times.
He
Did he? Okay.
was like, he was so bad for the last couple games that it's really hard not to listen to the conspiracy theorists who are just like, he was on the take. Like some of the decisions he made, it really does almost feel like he had a side bet going against him
through the game.
Yeah, like
bro.
Because his team, it was almost trying to bail him out. Like Dylan Harper, who's a rookie, balled out. Like Charles Barkley at halftime the last game was like, they got to bench De'Aaron Fox. Like Barkley said that at halftime. They got to bench because people who watch basketball were just like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, we've seen too much of you actually play basketball for us to think that this is real. This doesn't see. This seems like you are proactively sabotaging your team.
Yeah, it was bad. I don't understand because anytime Charles says something like that, I'm like, holy cow, what kind of game is that?
Exactly. He said it mid-game. He's like, they got to bench him. Because
when he was with the Kings, I saw this dude go scorched earth on a team, carried him on his back.
Clutch player of the year.
Yeah, he did. I saw it happen.
And then in the finals, I'm supposed to think in the finals that, first of all, in the game where he got the steal, instead of dribbling the ball out, like
he's the fastest dude on the court. Nobody catches him.
Dribbling the ball out, he goes to try. He slows down to try to do a layup over a 6'8" first team all defensive person.
Yeah, OG and nobody swatted the shit out of that.
Perfect sense. But you know what? I can deal with that. But then in that same game, he dribbled the ball off his foot twice. Like
really?
Just dribbled the ball off his foot.
Wow.
Like I said, and I feel bad because I'm like, if he wasn't, I want him to have been on the take. Because I would hate for him to just have like played that bad.
Is that the only way that makes sense to you? He's on
it's
the
not
take.
The only way it makes sense. I'd rather him be on the take because I can justify it, and then I can be like, hey, everybody might hate him in San Antonio, but at least he got his. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that's a terrible logic, but I'd at least feel like, hey, look, man, I don't know who he owes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know who he owes, who got some bad debt with.
Moby, can I also say in game 4, like, they're up by 29 fucking points.
Yeah, I thought they were going to lose.
And we're going to just start jacking threes? and De'Aaron Fox didn't say, hey, guys, we should probably stop jacking threes because we ain't in shit.
it was coaching malpractice. But you know
Oh
what?
my God.
First time coach. I will
Yeah.
almost say I get it, man. You
I
don't
don't
want
blame
your
the
team.
coach for that.
You don't want your team to get tight. But the only reason you signed De'Aaron Fox is because you're like, hey, we need a veteran presence
Exactly.
on this team to make sure we don't go do stupid shit.
I'm surprised he ain't cut yet.
See, you
He's too
can't
good.
cut him because he
Got a
owes like
contract.
$220 million.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to pay that.
That's
He ain't
the
there.
highest paid person on their team.
Get traded, yo. I'm telling you.
I mean,
I'm
here's the
trading,
thing.
but I don't know.
Who's going to want to trade for him after seeing
don't
that
know.
resume?
I don't know.
And
They're
then
gonna-
you get, and who's gonna swallow that contract, bro?
yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
yo, there are a lot of shitty teams out here who can't swallow it, like Utah. And I'll be like, hey, man, for a pack of smokes, what's up? In a fifth round pick.
You're right, Ruben. But why would a team? But why would a team want to do it?
Well,
Like
here's the
you
thing.
know what most schools don't like doing? Hiring a teacher who just got accused of sexual assault at another school.
But they
And
do
that's
it.
essentially what we just that's essentially what we just saw on live TV. We saw this
Yeah.
dude rape his own team.
But
Wow.
but here's the thing. But here's the thing, Moby. They still hire that motherfucking teacher.
But here's the thing, Ruben. They don't do it if it's on public blast like that. They don't do it if it made the news. And this shit made the news, bro. Like he was on every sports media outlet talked about how bad De'Aaron Fox played, which is why I say I hope he was on the take. I hope he was because
Yeah.
I hate for him, somebody who's played as good in his career, for his whole career to just be about this now. Because unless they can come back and win one, like, look,
Yeah,
man, I can
that's
think of
what
a
I
whole
say.
bunch of people who this is their career, like Nick Anderson. Nick Anderson had a great career. He missed some free throws in the finals. That's all he's known for. That's all he's known for.
I mean, hey,
The
man.
dude for the Red Sox who let the ball go between his
Bill
legs.
Buckner.
That's,
Bill
that's
Buckner.
all he's known for, man.
Absolutely.
Like,
No
I-
context or anything. He's
I
part of
don't
these
I don't
US
want
veteran
that for
position to
De'Aaron
start
Fox.
with.
I don't want that for anybody, but I will say that fucking the Denver Broncos did eat like $90 million of Russell Wilson's contract.
Absolutely.
So if they can find a way to shave a little bit of that off, don't think San Antonio won't eat it.
But
Because
here's the thing,
when
they don't really need to get rid of him. I just don't think they can play him anymore.
but man, if you can pay somebody $220, you gotta do it somewhere else.
Well,
I just don't
Ruben,
think it's
either
gonna
way
happen.
you eating it. Either way you eating it, Ruben. Like either way you eating it.
Then stay at home, man. Shit, I will pay you to stay the fucking home.
But
And
but
that's
I
just what
just
it is.
I'm just proud that we didn't jump on this narrative of Wemby is lesser than now
Oh no.
because
not at all.
in his first finals that they didn't come through. But that's what the internet does, man. It's just all how
That is the
Wemby
first
blew
time
it.
I've actually heard that.
Oh no, there's a lot of like
Oh, there's a lot of
blew
haters
it.
out there.
Wemby
Yeah.
didn't play good. Wemby should have got all them flagrant fouls, and I'm just like, yo, man.
The only thing I
man.
said about Wemby is he went from he was a rookie with a team that was bad. 3 years later, here they are. I mean, what about that part?
I mean, here's the thing. Like, everybody's like, oh, Wemby blew it, blah, blah, blah. He's not clutch. And I'm like, man, how many people in their first playoff run make it to the finals?
Not too many.
Never.
Well, Magic did. So
Exactly. And he played with
Right,
other
one of
Hall
the
of
first.
Famers.
yeah,
He also played with other Hall of
fair
Famers.
enough.
Now, Shaq went to the finals and got swept in Orlando. We don't remember that shit now. So what I'm just like, hey, man, in like 6 or 7 years, when Wemby probably has like 2 or 3 championships, like ain't nobody gonna worry about this. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna be like, damn, he would have another one if that bum De'Aaron Fox didn't play for him. What a-
That's cool.
Shout out to De'Aaron Fox.
Doesn't see that. See, you wrong for that.
Once again, man,
I am.
I hate that he's taking the brunt of this, but as
He
somebody-
earned that shit.
Ruben, I get it, man. You can say he earned it. However, nothing you've ever done in your life has been put under a microscope that these guys are under in the NBA Finals. And I bet if you had a couple really bad days in a row and a couple million people got to see it, everybody would say you were a bum too. The problem is most people, not the problem, the good thing is most people don't have the entire world see them at their worst. And he had some of the worst games of his life. on the biggest stage.
Well, I'm glad he's getting paid $220 million.
Oh yeah, that does make it a little easier. It does make it a little easier. But here's the thing: it's a human thing. You can say it makes it easier, but like, yeah,
Does it
you can
really
buy
when
a
you
lot-
gotta go to the grocery store?
Exactly. You can buy a lot of shit, but everywhere you go, like that motherfucking bum.
Man, do you know how long he can DoorDash, baby?
I mean,
So the cost of being rich is isolation. That's what you
Yeah.
want.
sometimes it is. Yeah.
Like I said,
Yeah.
Bill Buckner had a pretty good career, and
They ran him out of
for a
Boston.
for a long time.
Yeah.
That's all he was known for, man. Man, for that's still really all he's known for. It's just
For real.
now that they won again, all right, we can forgive him now. Like, hey, we
Yeah.
won. So
This dude had to move out of the city, out of the state, actually. I showed it. It was so bad. So bad.
yeah, man,
All right.
I'm just glad we took the high road and we celebrated the winner and didn't try to shit on the loser. I'm just saying because that's the good and bad about sports. That's the good and evil we talked about with sports. Like it brings people together to celebrate, but we don't know. It's not just enough to celebrate. Like Ruben's fandom always says, it's just not enough for his team to win. He also got to call his uncle and talk shit about it. You got to talk shit, and that's the worst part about sports. Like I'm glad I'm not infected with that. Winning is always enough for me. It's always enough for me. I don't need to tell nobody. As long as I know I won, I'm cool. But I realize most people winning ain't never enough. You got to. It's not enough to put a man down. You got to kick his ass too. Because how will he understand that you're better than him if you're not stomping on him?
The scoreboard usually does it.
No.
It's not
AD.
enough, man. It's not enough.
No,
It's
no,
not
no.
enough.
What
Stomping on
happens
the
if
nuts.
what happens if his number comprehension isn't there? What happens if for some reason he closes his eyes? You know, I gotta make sure he knows that I was kicking his ass on this day.
He
Look,
closes his eyes.
I do get in jest that sometimes it is cool when you're talking to somebody you're cool with to bring up that moment you won. It's a feel good moment. I still do it with some of my friends. It's not my first thing I go to, but you know, every once in a while, like when Ron came and saw my daughters playing basketball, he made a statement to my daughter. He was like, "Yeah, you know, your dad was always better at basketball than me, but that was the only thing he was better than me." And I'm like, "Hey, bro, I remember striking you out, bro. What you talking about? Like, I remember striking you out." You know what I'm saying? Like, once again, I've always said I'm a counter puncher. So when he said that, I was like, "Oh, okay, we doing this now. Cool."
I'm better than your
doing
dad and everything but this. Yeah, let's try that again.
And the thing is, he didn't even say it that way, Ruben, because if he'd have said it that way, I'd have felt more justified in my reaction. He actually gave me a compliment. He was like, "Yeah, your dad was always better at basketball than me because he just that was kind of his thing. But yeah, you know, other stuff, you know."
And
I
see,
had him.
and that's where
Exactly.
it was.
It was that he tried to slide it in. I'm like, look, man, just because your pigmentation camouflages you don't mean that
Wow.
word slipped past me.
Wow. Yo, wow.
It's cold blooded on these streets, man. That's all I got to say. It's cold blooded on these streets.
Ooh, oh man. Okay.
And then then we go back to our normal banter where he was just like, "Man, I bust your ass in football," which I always go, "Hey, look, man, that's not true." But I'm gonna let you
That's
have
not
that.
true.
It's not true. It's not true. Like
I didn't think it was, but it's still funny.
Yeah,
See,
sometimes
he
you gotta
knows-
let some people have something.
No, see, it's not even he knows it ain't true, but he does have a better resume than me based on us playing together. Because I'm like, hey man, I played football 3 years in high school. I played JV, then I played varsity last 2 years. This man was the starting center all 4 years of high school, and he leans on that. And I've always given him big props for that because he played with a whole bunch of all district and all Tidewater linemen, and he was always right in the middle of them. Now he won't ever one of them. I was, but I mean, he was right there though. He was right there.
Poor Ron. Poor Ron.
No, not poor Ron, because I give him all the love because I'm like, hey, to start as an offensive lineman 4 years in high school as an offensive, and everybody on our offensive line was almost 300 pounds. Me and him were like the smallest people. Hey, Ron was a dog in football. That's why I say I give him that one. Like I ain't gonna fight him on that. Like, hey, because when it comes to that inner dog, I will say he got that. I mean, I was just better athlete. You know, I'll say that. It's not his fault. You know,
It's not his fault. Wow. Cool. All right. You good, Moby?
yeah, man. What's on your mind?
All right.
He said,
Bruh.
"What's on your mind?"
It's very simple, man. We're gonna stick with the sports thing. Can I just get the congregation to sit here and repeat the words that are coming out my mouth real quickly? Can y'all do that for me after I
Depends
say
on
it?
what the words are, man.
Maybe I don't. I'm
They're
not
solid words, man. They're solid words.
Okay,
They're not
Hey.
dissing anybody or anything.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay. We say,
we'll see.
can you just repeat after me? Fuck Texas Tech.
What they do?
Yeah,
Moby just realized.
yeah,
Is it
I'm
the
saying
quarterback
that.
issue?
I don't agree with you.
So and you cannot agree with me. So look, man, the death knell, the spike in every sport is gambling. You can't gamble on your sport. Ask Pete Rose, right? Ask what's the dude from Carolina? The Carolina Panthers dude? No, he's not Carolina Panthers. He's in Tennessee now, but he basically not gonna have a career after this year. But whatever. You can't gamble on your sport. And you damn sure can't gamble on the game that you may possibly play in. Yeah, Brandon Sorsby, man. I get it, man. Transfer, it's all about winning championships these days. And it's about that money.
These days,
Bro, huh?
it's always been about that.
Yeah, man. But gambling's a thing. Like, I get it, man. People get addicted and, whatever. And that sucks, right? And they even sent the dude to Gamblers Anonymous, try to give him some help. Cool.
They didn't
whatever.
send him. That's an important detail. They didn't send him to that. He checked himself in, and he
Yeah, but
checked
Texas Tech
himself
paid
in.
for it.
Yeah, but he checked himself in like before this was even a public thing.
Correct. And that's very true. But here's the thing, right? Now, AG, to quick thing, he used to play for Indiana. Now, he was like the third string quarterback,
Okay.
but he bet on Indiana games.
No, I heard about the story. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like, what are
Because
we
I was
doing?
surprised that the Texas Tech went and got him, and I was like, "You realize he's really?"
Yeah,
And because
well,
I felt some type of way, while he was living, and certainly posthumously. It's like, okay, we treating Pete Rose like this, then somebody do
exactly.
something, and then are you for real? I
Exactly.
don't understand. I don't because I'm with Ruben on this. If you're betting on your own sport, you should be blackballed automatically.
Yeah.
But
And so,
if we're
and I-
doing this, then why is Pete Rose still not in the Hall of Fame?
posthumously, yes.
I-
And
I have,
go ahead,
I have a
Moby.
response. I do have a response.
Yeah.
And I will play devil's advocate on this.
Yep.
And I will differentiate the difference between Pete Rose and this guy.
okay.
Okay.
This guy was a college student. Pete Rose was a professional athlete.
But can you
And
make
Pete
the
Rose is
distinction,
not
though?
in the Hall of Fame just because he gambled. He's in the Hall of Fame because the motherfucker denied it for like 20 years. Like this dude actually admitted to it, checked himself into rehab. And I think if we're gonna go zero tolerance policy on youth athletes when the entire sport is wrapped around gambling and wrapped around the access and ease of gambling, and we're not going to acknowledge the fact that there's a lot of people who actually have a gambling addiction, I think I would feel differently about it had he been caught in some gambling scandal, denied it, then eventually had to come to the forefront and say, hey, I was gambling, you caught me, blah, blah, blah. Then I'd be for a penalty. But somebody who admittedly said, I had a gambling problem, checked himself into rehab. He's still going to get suspended, I think he still has to sit 2 games, I think.
Yeah.
But I think that's what, so I'm not saying that I don't think it's egregious, and I understand it affects the integrity of your sport. However, it is very disingenuous for us to make billions of dollars gambling, and we're proactively advertising to people in that age group, and we're not going to say, hey man, I understand that some people have a problem. Now, should he be punished in some capacity? Absolutely. But the whole blackball never should be able to play again, I don't agree with that. Now, I do have a little bit of a problem with the fact that, I mean, he is borderline like NFL prospect, which is why Texas Tech wants him. So part of me is like, hey man, his life really wouldn't be per se over if he couldn't play college anymore. He would just probably enter the supplemental draft and probably maybe get picked up by somebody. However, if we don't give people the death penalty for sexual assault, we don't give people the death penalty for drug trafficking, a lot of other egregious shit. It's just really weird to me that as soon as somebody says something about gambling, it's like our moral compass goes off the charts, like the integrity of the game is compromised. I just feel like everybody's reaction to this is a bit too extreme. Like other schools talking about, we're not going to schedule Texas Tech because they're letting this guy play. Man, fuck you. All the underhanded shit that all these big programs do, all the rape that they've brushed under the rug at most of these universities and stuff. Hey, miss me with this whole death penalty forever because this motherfucker made a mistake. Now, I'm cool if you're like, hey, I think he's getting off too light. I kind of agree. I'm cool if you're like, hey man, I don't think Texas Tech probably should have a higher moral code than bringing somebody in. Cool, but the school's job in this day and age in NCAA ain't about moral code. It's about winning and making their school money, and that's what everybody. Capitalism gives us a shield for everything, good, bad, or indifferent. I don't like it, but it is what it is. I just think it sounds really disingenuous when we just go, hey, this dude who at 19 years old was making stupid gambling decisions, and not like he was throwing games because he wasn't even fucking playing. Is it kind of like insider trading because maybe he knows who is and isn't playing? Yeah. Is it bad? Absolutely. Should we just act like nothing happened? No. But should we like blackball this dude and be like, oh man, this school is just so horrible because they're giving this kid another chance? Oh man, that just don't sit well with me.
I'm just saying is what I'm saying is if this is what we're doing, let's do it. I hear what you're saying. I agree.
And that's where I'm at.
We're going to be outraged about Pete Rose, then why are we even talking about this kid? That's where I'm coming from. If Pete Rose is the standard, then what are we doing now?
And I guess is that really an apples to orange thing?
It's not. All I'm saying is,
okay,
what we're doing. Listen to what I'm saying. If this is what we're doing, how come the rules are changing? Because honestly, Pete Rose is a professional athlete, but a lot of these college kids are too.
No, but what I mean by it's also a different sport.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is just from a betting standpoint, if we are going to be outraged at one person doing something, and then that is the narrative that we've been given all this time, whether he lied about it or not, it's like we all knew. It's like, then what's changed? But I do understand what you mean. I do understand what you mean because you're actually right about that because the punishment wouldn't fit the crime if it was like you'll never play football at this level again.
So here's my thing with it. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Should he ever play college again? No. He probably should have just went to the supplemental draft. I'm very fine with that because you're right. He is a budding NFL prospect, and honestly, to me, that's your punishment because here's the situation.
Is not to be able to make money?
No, the punishment is you gotta. Well, yeah,
not to be able to make money.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna be honest about it, yes, I would say, hey man, you got to go the long road, bro. You can't go back to college. You got to go to supplemental draft. He would get drafted.
Then I would just say the punishment
and the pathway would be longer. Because I'm telling you what's going to happen now. What's going to happen now, he's going to get to play. But then, I promise you, before the end of this year, there will be specific rules on gambling in the NCAA or in the individual conferences or whatever. I promise you that.
I think there are
And I
already
promise
individual
you-
rules on gambling.
Well, clearly not, because
That's what he's
I
being.
mean-
He got punished for. Like I think he's got to be suspended for a couple games.
yeah, his first game is like the 18th of September. So like he doesn't play the two shitty teams that they play at the beginning of the season. So like, if it was 6 games, I'd probably be cool with it. Because
Okay,
at that
now-
point in
see,
time,
Now you're talking different. If you say
Yeah.
that you feel like he should be suspended for longer, I'll ride with you on that. But
Yeah,
if we're just like, I just don't. I think punishment should fit the crime.
well, and that's the thing, right? Because really, at this point in time, as far as we know, he's really the first person to have done this on such a level. And
That we
and
know.
it's not that we know of, right? So here's the thing, right? He going back to school to get that NIL money. I ain't mad at him for that. But bro, you can't be out here. Like, to me, the punishment has got to be you can't play half the season, which then you got to make decisions. Because is it worth me coming back to school for half a season that I remember game 7, maybe they found their quarterback and he might not even fucking play. Or maybe go into the draft or the supplemental draft. And that's my thing. I think
I think that's a good argument. Like if you're like,
Yeah.
I feel like he should be punished more, I'm with you. But you started off by saying hard line, he should never, and I'm just like, whoa, that's a bit extreme, man. Especially
there-
some of the crimes and stuff that we have people who are
Yeah.
still actually playing.
but there are ways to, and I'll say this, there are ways for rules to happen to basically say you ain't never playing no more without saying you ain't never playing no more. Like, look,
Yeah, true enough. True enough.
the death penalty, the NCAA death penalty really has only affected one school. And I would probably say, 20, 30 years later, 40 years later, it took them 40 years to get their shit back together. And now SMU's probably pretty fucking solid now, but the death penalty is only for 2 years. But the length for those 2 years, it destroyed their program, and it just took them a very long time to get back up. They had to make choices and all this other stuff. And all I'm saying is, this 2-game punishment is bullshit, simply because we all know any team that's worth any salt, for the most part, is going to play at least 2 cupcakes. Now, they've changed a lot of things.
I'm about to say that's kind of changed now.
Yeah, but we can look at Texas Tech's schedule, and I think they're probably 2 cupcakes.
No, here's the
We're
thing.
talking
man.
the Big 12. Like,
If you'd have led with his suspension, is it enough? I would have been with you. But you led with like the hard line, he should never be able to play college football again. Fuck Texas Tech. And my thing is, Texas Tech isn't the issue. I don't think Texas Tech is the issue.
so, and I'm going to disagree with that partially because they are enabling it.
And here's the reason I'm gonna say Texas Tech is the issue is because the only way I'll allow you to say Texas Tech is the issue is if you don't think any other team would have signed him.
We really would never know.
Yes, we would,
Because
because he had multiple NIL offers.
well, no,
Yeah,
I'm not saying
multiple.
that, but we don't know after the scandal come out if they would have kept him. We don't know that. I'm not saying they would
probably
have.
could have got rid of him contractually.
Well, but that's the thing. That's why you suspend him. And the Big 12 can still suspend him for more games. Because I think that suspension
Which is what it should be. Like I don't think anybody else should have to come in and do anything.
Yeah, because I think Texas Tech suspended him for the first 2 games. But the Big 12 has the ability to suspend him for Big 12 games.
And look,
If they choose to.
the reason they did the 2-game suspension is because look, as a former college athlete, I know, like, look, man, back in the day when we would do the drug test, if you were going to fail the drug test and you knew you were going to fail the drug test, you didn't go take the drug test. When they called your name to get on that van to go get drug tested, you would go to the coach and you'd be like, you know what it is, and they would suspend you for 2 games for violating team rules.
Yep.
Because if you go do
Yep.
that drug test, the
You suspend
NCAA
for like
has
4
to-
games.
the NCAA suspends you. If I
Yeah.
just say you violated team rules, I don't have to specify what team rules they are.
Correct.
Once again, which is why the punishment fits the crime.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I mean, the hope is, here's my thing. If the Big 12 is going to do something, they need to do something now. Because if they're going to suspend it for like 3 Big 12 games, then I think it's a fair him making a decision on what he needs to do before the supplemental draft. And I think that's very fair.
Okay, well, you say fuck Texas Tech, and I'll say fuck all the SEC schools and the Big Ten schools who say they don't want to schedule Texas Tech in any sport. Shut all the fuck
I don't
up.
disagree with that.
Don't try to fucking take the high ground now after all
Yeah,
the scandals and stuff your schools have done. No, suck all the
To me,
Yes.
when I heard that, I was like, really, bitches? Like, this is what y'all doing now? Y'all sound like Notre Dame right now. That's what y'all fucking sound like. That's right. I said that shit. They sound like fucking Notre Dame being a bunch of bitches. And so, like, yeah, I don't think that's right. I think that's crazy because it's not like we've heard Texas Tech like being a potential rule breaker all the goddamn time. Hell, nobody knew who Texas Tech was like 5 years ago. So, like, that
we don't
it is
know them
what it
because they're
is.
paying a lot of NIL money, and that's why they've been
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, like, yeah, when I heard that, I was like, that's some old bullshit. Like, y'all stupid. Try to puff your chest up and then, yeah, we're what y'all want to be. Nah, bitch, y'all a bunch of crooked bitches too. So with that being said, I'm still standing on my statement. Fuck Texas Tech. Sometimes you got to do better.
Hey, look, man, I'm
Yep,
okay
yep,
with that.
KV Yako, very true. What if his name was Marquise? Yep, that's right. If he was black, we wouldn't even be having this discussion.
It's a whole nother podcast.
His ass wouldn't even be playing. That's
know
what it is.
You know, I'm gonna disagree with that because if his Marquise, Texas Tech would still want to play because like race ain't got shit to do if you can help a team win. Teams have proven that. Now,
That's
public perception might be even harsher on him.
Yes.
Like the whole he went to drug rehab, he went to the gambling rehab doesn't sit as well because don't nobody give a fuck when black people go to rehab for something because they're just a delinquent. I mean, I'm just saying, traditionally that's true.
Absolutely, I agree.
So,
but I think
yeah.
Texas Tech would be like, man, we don't give a fuck what color you are. If you can help win us some games, bro, bring your gambling ass over here.
Yeah, I mean, and they got a billionaire backing them, so it is what it is there. And with that being said, like, thank everybody for listening to a brand new episode of 5 Minute Warning. Hey, we do this every Sunday, 9 p.m. until we feel like getting up the air. Hey, thank you to all of you who posted today. Thank you for listening. All that beautiful stuff. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, just tell somebody about us. Once again, thank you to Moby. Thank you to AG. Hey, we do this every Sunday at 9 p.m. Why? Because we like it. And we like that y'all listen to us, and we appreciate that. Of course, it'll be on the podcast online. If you missed an episode, please check out our podcast, 5minutewarning.com. We are here, there, and everywhere. Also, if you would like just to watch this, you can check us out on our YouTube page, 5 Minute Warning as well. Hey, we everywhere, baby. So please, please, please take a listen. Thank you. And as we do it all the time, peace, love, hair grease, soul, and deuces.
Email us at 5minutewarning19@gmail.com. And also leave comments on Facebook and Twitch. Search 5 Minute Warning. Contact us on Twitter at AG_FMW podcast, at Newsman25, at FMW 2019. Contact us on Instagram, Moby 5 Minute Warning, AG_5 Minute Warning, Newsman25. You can listen to the podcast at Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Thank you for listening. This has been another episode of
The 5 Minute Warning.